Hey everyone, so yeah, sort of a late night, early morning review here. But okay, one thing I really liked about this chapter is its natural sense of escalation. It starts off simple enough with crew shenanigans and getting Valkyrie caught up with the whole situation, which in itself, I like how we are getting the chance to develop more of a personal connection with Valkyrie, whereas before, all we had was Homer's offhanded accounts of her history with her, which isn't bad, but it's just nice to get to know her a little more personally. And then of course those shenanigans are followed by learning Pino's true purpose is to, like, the purpose of her powers, the purpose of her EMP abilities is to destroy Eden's One, which, looking back on the fight with Ziggy, like, it makes a whole lot more sense when you think about it. Pino wasn't just created to stop machines. She wasn't just created to, like, in order just for the purpose of being like a comrade or something. She was created by Ziggy to stop the machine. Ziggy had already known what kind of a threat Eden's One was at the time, so she was created for that purpose. She was created to basically stop the most dangerous sentient AI in existence. Which brings us to that final page where we see some Darth Vader robot-looking motherfucker who's taken Ziggy's place on this world as the strongest king of demons in the universe. And yeah, basic narrative logic right now is telling me that this new big bad is the Eden's One's, like, AI given a more physical form. I think the chapter even says as much with the epithet name Over New Etherion Void. And honestly, I know I've made a lot of theories throughout this whole for a lot of, like, who's gonna die, who's gonna survive, but by the end of the series, but between all these revelations we get, and let's face facts, Shiki kind of putting on a brave front, saying destroying the Eden's One is no longer her mission. No, Shiki, it is her mission. I feel, and because of that, I feel in some form or another, Pino is going to have to complete that objective. But unlike with Ziggy, who was only testing her and Shiki, I think this time that there will be no coming back for Pino, or at least not until they possibly make a wish to Mother. Because that's the other thing this chapter has me thinking, is that, don't get me wrong, I genuinely believe that Pino is going to make the ultimate sacrifice in order to stop the Eden's One. I genuinely believe she is going to die. But assuming Mother's, like, wish mechanics are still in play, I think after they save her and whatnot, I think how Mashima is playing this is Pino is going to die, but afterwards, after they've saved Mother and all that, I think that'll lead to the Eden Zero crew asking for their wish in order for Pino to be revived. But as an added bonus, I think what they're going to do is they're going to revive Pino as a human. Like, that's kind of how I've pieced together these events playing out anyway. But it's like, yeah, I don't entirely know for certainty, but it kind of feels like that's just how things are playing out right now. Also, if it wasn't clear before, yeah, Mashima was really, I think, influenced by Star Wars, because again, just the way that supposedly the Eden's One's, like, robot form looks, it's very Darth Vader. Like, that has some Darth Vader vibes to it, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was in, like, Mashima has kind of like done a little bit of has definitely shown through through characters and moments. But yeah, he's definitely influenced by Star Wars. So yeah, I think this is him going full Darth Vader with the Eden's One now, which yeah, I'm all for. Anytime there's a Star Wars reference, I'm all for. Moving on from that, though, we do get a very interesting conversation between Weiss and Shiki about Shura. And yeah, this is something where I don't expect Shura to remain evil by the end of this next big campaign. But at the same time, I do hope Mashima understands that for however different this version of Shura is, he needs to be much more delicate in how he handles the actual approach of whatever redemption arc there's going to be for Shura. Because, and don't worry, this will be the last time I mention it, but if he rushes Shura's turnaround like he did with Joe, and without even having the proper pieces on the board to make it happen this time around, it's just not going to work. It's going to be the exact same. It's going to be the exact same thing with Drac and Joe. Like the Drac and Joe thing, I'm sorry, no matter which way I twist my arm about it, that whole redemption, it didn't work. Like don't get me wrong, the prince setup for the setup for his redemption was there with Weiss's mother being alive, but like the payoff just did not work, and that's because Majima just really needs to set this up and execute it properly, and only after he's done some kind of struggle or failure in order to convince like Shura the first time around. That's the other thing. There needs to be some kind of inciting incident to at least trigger that moment that'll help Shura see reason. And I know I'm asking a lot of Majima here, but no matter the universe, Shura is not one to be talked down easily, and that needs to be shown, which again just boils down to my fear that Majima will just take the easy way out. The only thing that does give me hope is that with Laguna as acting leader of Oasis, I'm hoping we also pretty much see Ijuna make a return to at least, because I think Ijuna is going to be one of the key pieces of the puzzle towards making that happen. Washima just needs to take advantage of that piece, and the only problem being that because both Shura and Ijuna died in our world, I doubt she'll have any like memory recognition moments. So that leaves the question of what role, how her role would play out in this whole scenario. But like I think Ijuna is going to be one of the keys to like at least talk Shura down, if, and that's a big if, he actually takes advantage of the whole thing. That's the other thing. He needs to take advantage of the pieces on the board. That's the thing. He needs, again, I know I already said this, but Mashima needs to take advantage of the pieces on the board. He can't just rely on Sheikah to say, let's be do the talking of like, you're going down the wrong path, please come over to our side or whatnot. Mashima can't do that. He needs more pieces on the board. With all that said, though, we do get some smaller details revealed about other characters. Like, for example, we get confirmation that, yeah, Elsie's in fact still living her life as a princess on Lendard and never actually experiences a war of any kind, which, I'm sorry, but the fact that that's the case at all has me going shifty-eyed and asking, what's the catch, Mashima? Like, seriously, I've read this manga since it started, and I've gotten enough of a grasp on Mashima's patterns to know when things are too good to be true. That they usually end up being so. And so that just raises the question, what's the curveball he's going to throw Elsie's way to throw her life back into a chaotic mess, or something to that effect, like, or back into the fold of joining with the Eden Zero? Like, what's it going to be? Is my question. And it's not like I'm expecting her to regain her memories. In fact, even though she didn't technically die, I doubt she'd regain her memories either, considering she was devoured by the chronophage, which basically just stuck everything in time. But just like, what's the hook? Because I know you're tricked. I know your tricks now, Mashima, and you are not leaving that girl alone. You've got another plan for her in this world. It's just a matter of what those plans are, and what part of it is the perfect opportunity to get, when is the perfect opportunity to get her back in the fold, so to speak. But I know it's happening. It's just when. Like, Elsie aside, though, we also learned Paul, the freedom fighter leader we met in our world, Sun Jewel, is actually a congressman in Universe Zero, and that he not only gave amnesty to Kurenai, but he also, I guess, prosecuted the Baron, which I know people's answer to what I'm about to say is it's fiction, duh, but seriously, why is it that straight-laced, incompetent politicians who actually do their fucking job only seem to exist in anime, manga, and just fiction in general? Like, give me a Paul over any of the other idiots that are giving political power on the daily. Like, seriously, please, give me a Paul type politician, please. I'm begging you on that. It might make me sleep a little better at night, but hey. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, comment, subscribe. If you're on Twitter and on the Crunchyroll, be sure to notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight of Night signing off. Later, everyone.